As a kid from the inner city of Detroit, I never thought I'd get a chance to pick a profession and travel the world with that profession and meet people from all different geographical territories and all different religions. And it's just been a phenomenal career journey for me. And what I've learned about leverage is invaluable because at the end of the day, it's more so how that leverage has helped me in life. So with that, as an inner city kid myself, all the inner city kids that may not be able to go out and afford my book, I'm going to bring a piece of my book to you. I've always felt the most sustainable influence technique is an open dialogue backed by trust and the appropriate amount of transparency. Unfortunately, sometimes trust or transparency is not reciprocated immediately by the other party. When you find yourself in a situation, verbal and nonverbal influence techniques become even more critical for influential leverage and successful outcomes. The first person that comes to mind often for me is Mr. McCoy. At Henry Ford High School in Detroit, I finished my senior year as the class president. My faculty advisor was Mr. McCoy. As a young adult, there were moments in which most of us demonstrated leadership and maturity. On the other hand, we all also had moments where our lack of judgment showed our age and inexperience. Although rare, I had lack of judgment moments. What I found to be interesting is Mr. McCoy always had verbal and nonverbal ways of influencing me. He always found a smooth method to leverage my desire to be great as a way of keeping things in focus for the greater good of the senior class. Mr. McCoy continuously used his dynamics of leverage on me to help shape a great senior year and an even better G-Sean. I recall one time I decided to eat cheese crackers he had left over in his office from a field trip. I ate so many of those things I decided I didn't even want to eat lunch. He loosely suggested I stop eating so many packs of crackers, but of course, he never leveraged posture. He knew that prototype was more effective for my young and impressionable mind. The next day, he asked me, "How was your night?" I told him, it was okay, but my stomach was killing me. It was then that he asked me the perfectly timed question, "Do you want more of these cheese crackers today, or do you think a real lunch is a better idea?" Mr. McCoy was a master at balancing the 6 dynamics of influence that we talk about in the book. Sometimes he would take a direct approach, and sometimes he'll take an open approach. That was an excerpt from Chapter 11, Don't Sweat Their Technique. I really enjoyed writing that because it gave me an opportunity to connect with my inner city reader. It reminded me of my days on the streets of Detroit and also the hallways in Henry Ford High School. Dynamics of leverage for me was an opportunity to gain a better quality of life. And this was well before I would use the dynamics of leverage to help me with corporate leadership.